in the last year, I had a situation. I rashly, dramatically bought something, a watch, which was too expensive.
Surprise,
Um,
surprise. I think I've heard
surprise,
this
surprise.
story
Yeah,
before.
yeah, exactly,
More
exactly.
than
How many
once.
times? More than once. And suddenly, think my finances that were going along pretty well, which was really unusual for me. They were ticking along pretty nicely. Suddenly, they're really in trouble, and I've got to do all sorts of things. I've got to sell things. I've got to, I didn't borrow, but I've got to sell things in order to get it out of trouble again. And I can find myself repeating that pattern so many times. That's sort of what I call acquisitive drama. I create a drama by being too acquisitive, and I can make a. I was in hospital. How long ago was I in hospital? God, it's I don't know, but it's getting on for probably a year. And somebody stopped me in the street the other day and went, "Oh, I hear you've not been very well." And I bought right into it. I didn't just go, "Oh God, that was a year ago. Don't worry about that." I went, "Yeah, no, it was bad, And yeah, yeah. And I kind of told the story about how bad it was, and how close it all got and everything.
Because there's
But
a
it was like a
bonding,
year
isn't
ago.
there? There's a bond. It
I
does serve
guess,
a
yeah.
purpose.
It
I,
does, but it kind of there is an unpleasant attention-seeking element to it, I think, that
yes.
doesn't sit comfortably with me.
Yeah. And that's the balance
Yes.
is, yeah, I understand what you mean. I felt like that last year when my dog was attacked and it was all over my local Facebook group
Yeah.
and hundreds of people commented and then everybody knew me because I saw it. I didn't post it. Someone else said, "Oh, I just saw a terrible dog attack with a woman and hope she's okay." And then I posted and showed a picture of my hands that was like balloons. And I said, we're sort of okay, blah, blah. And then I got loads of attention. I got
Mhm.
loads of like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." People messaged me. Like I got so much attention. It was really nice because I was traumatized. And
Yeah.
then I'd see people that I live in a small place and they recognize me as that person and would ask me the story and I would give them a blow by blow of the story. But then after a while I was re-traumatizing myself because it was really I thought my dog was going to die. And there was a point where then that had to stop because it just and it could have gone on for ages. And I did 3 EFT sessions with my mentor and completely cleared the trauma. And then afterwards, people would ask me about it, and I just sort of give them the like overview. We were attacked. It was a pit bull. With it was horrible, but we're okay now. I just didn't want to. I didn't have any energy or desire to go into the blow by blow. But that for and I think something about that is process as well. There's
Mhm.
something about kind of retelling it, help me process it, and then people who'd had similar issues. I don't know. I feel like there's a human element to that we need, but it's how long it goes on for. It's like
Exactly.
yeah, if I'm still
I mean, I've
talking
yeah.
about it then it's just yeah, it's not. And I did the other day I was at the dog park and I was chatting to a lady and because I'm really pit bulls really scare me now.
Yeah.
And a pit bull came and I spoke to a lady and said, "Oh, we're going," and I kind of started telling the story and she was kind of all ears and I sort of went into it and it kind of got me the attention like like we're special. Cadbury and I are special. Like there was an element of that. It's really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I have to Heidi, my wife, is the least dramatic, but I mean, nothing phases her. I don't know, just nothing phases her at all. Um, and I have been, since my suitcase got stolen or whatever happened to it, every kind of day or two, I'll notice something else that's gone missing. And the first couple of days I came into the bedroom and went, "Oh God, you won't believe this went as well." And she, just raised her eyebrow and went, "Oh, sorry, darling." Well, the other day I noticed something else that had gone. And I came in and she went, "Oh," and I went, "Oh, for God's sake, how much longer? I just noticed that jacket's gone." And she just looked up and went, "God," and the look said, "Are you still going on about that bloody suitcase? That was nearly a month ago. Yes, you lost a lot of stuff. Okay, I get it. You don't have to tell me every time." But for me, it was like, share my grief with me, share my loss with me. And
Mm.
trying to and she wasn't, you know, she was
Because you love me if you do. I know you love
yes,
me if
yeah,
you do.
exactly, yeah, and she was, you know, appropriately sympathetic at the time, but, you know,
Yeah.
for Heidi, you know, couple of days, she's done, you know, she's do she's done her sympathy thing. I mean, that's not to paint her in a bad light at all, but, you know, she she kind of went, you know, "Yeah, you lost a lot of stuff. You're gonna notice things missing. Okay, shut up," kind of thing, you know, I've done that. But it's like, why am I still reacting like that? Why don't I just, "Oh, I lost that jacket as well." Why do I need to go and tell somebody? Why do I need what am I looking for when I go and tell somebody that? And I do think there is something obviously about kind of an addiction to that adrenaline rush that drama gives us. But then I also think there is, as we've been discussing, a sort of second layer to it of why am I bringing this drama to you in recovery? Why am I bringing this to you? What is it I'm trying to get from you? I mean, certainly I know that, yes, I wanted that adrenaline hit, and that when I was drinking and using, that kind of big rush of adrenaline was it worked, you know, it was like gave me a feeling of being alive. It kind of, especially the sort of deadening effect of drugs, having a sort of police chase made you feel alive and kind of, wow, yes,
At least the
whoa,
police
big.
want me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm really living on the edge here, you know, and that, you know, but do I need to do that in sobriety? Do I need to, you know, do I need to drive? I don't drive fast any longer, but do I need to take those little risks? Do I need to, what is it that what do I do it in my relationships? You know, I don't with Heidi, thank goodness, but in other relationships, you know, am I flirtatious with other women? Am I just pushing it a little bit too far? Am I looking for an argument? Am I, you know, what is it? And often in relationships, we do look to replicate our family of origin, especially if it's been rowdy and dysfunctional and a lot of shouting. That's our learnt behavior about relationships, and we
Yeah.
can often find
Yeah.
ourselves. Uh,
Yeah.
re- so, in a way, I'm quite pleased that my kind of training in that ground was let's just not talk, because in a way, Heidi and I, you know, the last 2 days we've both had off, and what did we do? We sat on the sofa together and read, and fell asleep and read, and fell asleep and read, and anybody observing it would have thought it was the most dullest day ever, but it was 2 glorious days of us being close
Yeah.
together. But
Yeah.
there was no drama. There was
Well, she's
nothing
a nurse,
dramatic.
so I imagine she has quite a lot of drama in her life on a daily basis.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah.